Welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Mumbles. Today, we're doing a Bright game review. Now, today we are reviewing a Bright game, LightField. Now, what the heck is this? Parkour in space with spaceships. That is what LightField basically is in a nutshell. That is all there is to it. You jump on from one wall to the next using your spaceship. When you're on the ground, you move faster. That is all there is to it. Now, along the way, you can collect different things, you know, different boost, speed boost things. So there's little like triangle things from the ground that you collect to make it go faster. But that's really all there is to LightField. Now, graphic-wise, this game is beautiful. It's set in space and it looks beautiful. I mean, it's like a dimensional thing, you know, not space, but like a space dimensional type thing. You know what I'm saying. You'll understand when you see it on the screen. It's very pretty looking and very cool. Now, talking about the soundtrack in this game, the soundtrack is overall very well. I kind of wish they would have varied things up a little bit more like Mario Kart, but that's okay. It's still a nice soundtrack. Now, control-wise, this game works great. There's not a lot to this game. You just pick a line, you go in that line, and you jump from building to building, basically. That is all there is to it. So the controls in this game for that work great. Now, gameplay itself. Now, the gameplay in this game, it's a racing game. It also has time trials and things like that. So keep in mind, this is a racing game. Now, as you proceed and win more tracks and win more things and do this, you will unlock new tracks to try. So, this is a racing game and there's different tracks to try. And there is always a fastest line in this game. There's one line that you can pick that's going to go faster than the rest. You have to figure out what that line is that makes you go faster than everyone. Because if you pick the wrong line, even on a lower difficulty, you're going to get your butt kicked. No two ways about it. Now, the only other thing to really mention gameplay-wise is I love how they made it that when you lock down to the ground and you're parkouring on the ground, that you move faster. When you're flying around in the sky, you're slow. When you're on the ground, you're fast. That's the way it should be. So gameplay-wise, that is a nice little mechanic. Now, cons. This game doesn't have a lot of cons. It is very good for what it is, and so there's not a lot of cons. The only real con I will point out is replayability. This game does one thing and it does it well, and once you're done with that, you might not want to revisit it, so keep that in mind. Overall, a very simple game. It is very parkourish, jumping from one building to the next. There's not a lot to say here about this game, unfortunately. It is a good game, but it only does one thing, and it just doesn't, it's just missing a little something as far as, you know how with Mario Kart, you can get invested in the characters, like, oh, you know, Mario has my number, he wants to kick my butt. This game doesn't really have that feature, and it's something that would have been kind of nice for them to develop in the game. You know, maybe make rivals, or I don't know how they could have done that, but they could have made rivals or something in it so that you had a little bit more of a, you know, reason to play it. Oh, I want to kick Yoshi's butt. I'm sorry, I love Yoshi. But I want to kick Yoshi's butt because he kicked my butt in the last race. You know, something like that. Something that gives you a little bit, make you a little bit angry and want to play that next round of the game. But instead, LightField doesn't do that. It does have, you know, colors and things, but they don't have like, whereas in a Mario Kart when you're playing, and each series that you do, each series of 4 races, there's going to be one racer who is going to be second. As you proceed from one to the next on LightField, it doesn't do that. So that's a little bit disappointing. Now, with all that being said, there's only really one thing left to ask about LightField. What's it going to get on our Mumbles review? Now, LightField is a very cool game. I definitely recommend you check it out, first off. Second off, it is going to get a 6 out of 10. And I'll tell you why it's getting a 6 out of 10. It does one thing, but it does that one thing excellently. If it had a story to it, or, you know, like I said with the rival thing, this game could be an 8. But it's just missing a little something. It's still a good game for the price. You definitely need to check it out. It's a solid game, it's solid gameplay, but it's just missing that little edge that it needs in order to take that next level. These developers have a lot of promise. I definitely recommend you check them out. Check out this game. And yeah, guys, this has been another episode of Mumbles. I want to thank y'all so much for joining me. Please smack that subscribe button, smack that like button, smack all those buttons. Now, we'll see you guys all in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone. Take care.